I am someone who doesn't read. I never liked to read. It just wasn't my thing until I kind of got into that middle school phase where I loved boy bands, and that's when I really got into reading. But we're not going to talk about those stories. As of recently, I've gotten more, I guess you could say, motivated to read, and I really like romance, but I've never really delved into romance. When I was in middle school, I read the Hush Hush series, which is actually over here somewhere. It was cute. I also like Percy Jackson a lot, and I read the first 2 books, and I watched both of the movies. That was it. I read Land of Stories. That was fun. It was fantasy. But during COVID, I really got into reading fan fiction, and that was just my thing. And I would read until like 9 p.m. till 7 a.m. and be bawling by the time the sun rises. And I love that feeling. I love the feeling of the end of a story, you know? And it's so much more magical than a movie, because you actually feel like you're in the story, like you're with the characters, like you're holding their hand, and you actually can understand their thoughts and understand, okay, this is why they're being an idiot. Or sometimes you don't. Maybe that's just bad writing, or maybe that's on purpose. I'm not going to be talking about bad writing. I recently read Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is a popular book. It came out in 2020. Almost everyone and their mother have read it. Me, who I didn't like to read, or at least I thought I did it. I love it. It's so cute. It's really cute. I actually read another one of Emily Henry's books, but I didn't finish it. It was Book Lovers, and I have interesting.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
I have negative. What's the word? I like her writing a lot, and I like the main character in Book Lovers a lot, but I just kind of got lost in the plot. Not that the plot is not structured, it is very structured. Me personally, I didn't like that type of romance book. I can talk about that later, I guess. But Beach Read is really cute, and she does a really good job. I don't know how to describe it. Not every single chapter is like a jump cut. Like, you know, in a video, whenever you just cut abruptly. She does a really good job at just flowing with the story. Like, I genuinely felt like I was on a raft in the ocean and just like following the calm waves. I mean, there were some pretty big waves, but and this book made me cry. How many books can you say have made you cry? And it didn't make me cry because of the love interest or anything. It was because of the plot of the main character. That is rare, I fear. I'm assuming if you're listening to this right now, you have read this, so I'm gonna talk about it. But if you haven't read it, I would skip ahead. Augustus Everett, or Gus, let's not call him by his full name. He wrote literary fiction. So cool. Cold-hearted, horny, emo. I love that type of character, you know, where he's just so mysterious and you have no idea like what he's thinking, but he's so open at the same time. January, I feel like, is so relatable. Like, you feel like her, I feel like her, everyone is kind of thinking like her. Because if you're getting with an ex-player, you're gonna believe he's gonna play you too, right? And also, this is a spoiler. The fact that he's married, is married, or has been. Bro, what? I did not expect that, just because he was so against the idea of romance. I'm also really upset that we didn't get to see his story. Like, I wanted to read his romance story. I actually haven't read the author note in the back. Okay, there's some discussion questions in the back here. Do people talk about this? This is awesome. I don't know why I haven't read the back of this book yet. Okay, one of the questions on the discussion questions is, in what ways does the book deviate from or subvert romance tropes? The fact that this feels real, like the way that they encountered each other felt so real. Like, yeah, of course he's gonna be your neighbor. She did a really good job in this and making it feel like it's real, but at the same time a fairy tale. Because from the beginning of the book to the middle, you're like, how the hell did we get here? And that is real. I am not a big reader, right? So I haven't read any recent romance books, but what I do know is that sometimes writers will kind of make it such a fairy tale feeling. And maybe that's on purpose. Maybe people who are reading those type of romance books want that fairy tale feeling. But me personally, I love angst. I love a little bit of angst. And I like it with a happy ending too. So this is like the perfect angst, not too sad book. Also too, she didn't make me hate him. I feel like sometimes in romance tropes, the guy will do something or the girl will do something and you're just like, why the hell did you do that? Why did you do that? Now I don't want them to end up together. I haven't been watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. Is that what it's called? But I've been seeing a lot of stuff on YouTube about the fucking Conrad and Jeremiah stuff. No, that shit would piss me the fuck off. Are you kidding me? I don't like those games. I don't like those type of games. For me, that is not romance. That is dramatic. I don't believe that they need another sequel to this book because this book is already perfect the way it is, the way it ended. I'm satisfied. The only thing I would love to see is just more of them being cute and what is the word? What is a fucking word? I would just love to see them doing more mundane tasks, like doing laundry together. It could be boring, but I think the way that Emily Henry writes, it could be fun. I actually am starting we met on vacation. By the way, shout out to my boyfriend for giving me all these books, and shout out for my boyfriend to telling me to read this book because he cried while reading it. So, shout out. I read the very beginning of this. I think just the prologue. I haven't finished the prologue yet. I really wanted to lock in and read this on a nice summer night, which will probably be tonight. Very excited. This is so clever. Just the very beginning. I don't know the rest. Do not spoil it. I don't want to know. If I could give a rating for this book for someone who really doesn't read that much, it definitely 4.5 and up. I don't want to give like a specific number because I feel like I don't have enough experience. But this book, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't super exciting. The things that they were doing weren't super crazy. I wasn't being taken on like a crazy ride. I mean, I was, but it just felt real. Like it felt realistic. And she didn't toy with my emotions, like giving me a little bit of them and then pulling them back. So I enjoyed that. Oh, and on the back of the book it says everyone will finish a book and no one will fall in love. Really? That fucking scared me when I started this book. Because I thought that they weren't gonna end up together. And my boyfriend was like, yeah, I cried at the end. What do you mean? That scared me. I had like this much left or something. And I was like, what the hell is gonna happen? Can I just finish reading here and everything's gonna be alright? I think I was at the part where they just had sex in a tent. So I was like, do you think if I just stopped here, it's gonna be fine? But no, I'm really glad I finished the book. I read this in less than 5 days, which is very fast. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I don't read. But when I get into a book that I actually like, I just finish it so fast. I'm like, okay, now that's over. I'm wanting to get into contemporary romance, and I really want to read things more like this that are clever and that feel real and aren't like a fantasy magical ride. I do like fantasy romance though. I got Fourth Ring right over here. I need to finish reading that. I think I'm gonna start reading that. I am only like 4 chapters in and it's good. It's good. And I love dragons and the fairy tale world over there that she's creating. Forgot her name. Rebecca. I had Rebecca in my head. I don't know why I just didn't say Rebecca. But yeah, this was so cute. This was so cute. I love it. But it's over. Again, gonna start this. I don't think I can read 2 books at once. That's just too much for my brain. So I'm gonna start this, see if I like it. If I'm not vibing, we'll switch over to Fourth Wing. If I'm not vibing, we'll switch back to this and stay. That's kind of how I feel like that will go. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, let me know. If you have any books that you're absolutely in love with, let me know. I feel like I am a harsh critic, so I will be giving harsh criticism to the things that you love, so be wary. Okay. Moral of the story. If I can say one good thing and one bad thing about this. One good thing, I love the flow of this. I love how it just connects so effortlessly. I don't feel like it's set in like a false reality. I feel like this could actually happen in real life. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I like that the writers. I was gonna say one thing, but I really do like that she writes about writers. That's so cool. Just sprinkling in a little bit of her, you know. One bad thing about Beach Read. When it's revealed that he's married, you know, and he's struggling with the divorce and stuff, and he doesn't like his birthday, I feel like Pete telling her that all this was just kind of like, okay, like you found someone in the story to tell the main character. It would have been so fun if like she found little tidbits and suddenly connected the pieces, like we were processing it with her. It'd be difficult to do that, but the closer she got to Gus, more opportunities to go into his house. If they're still married, maybe she shows up and she sees her, but the way that she did it still worked. I also feel like too, that was such like a shock. It wasn't really that shocking. How do I describe this? This was such a big thing, but it was barely talked about. It was barely thunk about. Naomi herself was barely seen. And the fact that she left the bookstore and Gus just didn't contact her, that pissed me off. I mean, granted, January needed that time to figure out the whole letters thing about her dad, but oh my god, that pissed me off. Like, why wouldn't he fucking contact her? Like, or at least text her. Like, they were texting at that point. So, I don't know. That pissed me off. Maybe that's supposed to be on purpose. I just wish Gus communicated a little better. But at the same time, nobody's perfect. You know, I get it. And I'm saying all these terrible things. But at the end of the day, I did fucking love this book. It was beautiful. And the fact that a character is making me mad in itself is a good sign. So, okay, that's all I have for you today. Okay, bye!